Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. It's Monday, November 2nd, and Miss Marie and I will be going live at 11 a.m. as we always do. Please, if you will, use hashtag TheMLM-solution, hashtag TheMLM-solution. You can see it down there in the ticker. Please share that with a fellow network marketers all across the world. When you do, you help them as much as you help yourself. We'll be going live. We have a good subject today, the importance of understanding your back office numbers. Once again, the subject for today is the importance of understanding your back office numbers. If you don't understand what those numbers mean, if you don't understand the things that it will tell you, those numbers will tell you, then you need to join us today on this live podcast, which we stream live to our Facebook page on our YouTube channel. With that being said, we'll be going live here very shortly.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Good morning, Rob. I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I have no complaints whatsoever. I had a good weekend as far as pain management goes. And I'm actually, I have a smile on my face today. Although I did have a few small moments there, but overall, much, much better. Obviously, I see that you made it safely from your trip, and that's awesome.
Yep, had a great time visiting the state of South Dakota. Strongly recommend it. The Badlands, the Black Hills, Mount Rushmore. Did a quick visit to Devil's Tower. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I can't complain, except the weather wasn't overly cooperative on the way out, I have to say. They got an early snowstorm, and that hampered us a little bit. But hey, we survived. We survived the weekend, the time change, the full moon on Halloween.
I know. I agree. Man, what a crazy weekend. I hope everybody that's listening across the world had a wonderful, happy, and safe Halloween. I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in the U.S. and I guess our neighboring countries, Mexico and Canada, might also participate in that holiday. And that being said, Miss Marie, we had a pretty normal, and I don't mean as far as the numbers, no, we did not have the numbers that we normally do. But here's the thing: people were out, people were not afraid, people didn't, oh my gosh,
Well, I don't know. In this pandemic world, I feel like Halloween was the perfect holiday to celebrate because you're outside, you're wearing masks anyway. I mean, come on.
I know it. You're right. And you know what? What's funny is that people had such a wonderful, carefree attitude. We had a ball. We sat on our front porch. We put a table out there. We had pumpkins out there on the table, and we laid the candy out. And we kept the big bowl up by us, but we had to beg people to take more than one or two pieces. Because, we didn't know what to expect. And as time went along, it became obvious that we got too much candy and we certainly don't need it. And so we were begging people to take it. But normally what we end up doing is if you ever go to on the internet and do a search for Hillcrest Halloween in Louisville, Kentucky, you will see the crowds. Normally we go through 2,500 to 5,000 pieces of candy. People as far away as Cincinnati, Owensboro, Evansville, Indianapolis, and the rest of the state of Kentucky will drive hours to come to this. And the whole street on both sides go, above and beyond. It's crazy. That's the reason why I say you got to go there and see it for yourself. But it is absolutely an amazing thing. It usually starts at 5 p.m, ends at midnight. And it's constant. It's non-stop.
Wow.
Last year, we froze our butts off. And this year, like you said, we had the perfect weather, and they canceled it this year because when you have that many people, I mean, they block off the street, and the cops are there, in case. I mean, it's like Mardi Gras. And the point is that you can't have that many people around each other in today's environment. Not because, Rob, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You say you're not. No, it has nothing to do with me being afraid. I'd have been out there. No ifs, ands, or buts. But here's the thing. We have to think of other people that have compromised medical conditions and things like that. And let's be honest, Miss Marie, that's a prime area with all the close proximity, being, in other words, a small space being blocked off. And then you cram in 20, 30,000 people. That's not a good environment, for everybody to be in. So just to eliminate that possibility, they decided that they did not want to take that chance. So there you go.
It was a little bit of normal in a crazy world. So
yes, it was. And tomorrow's going to be even more crazy. Anyway, I'm not going there. I'm ready. I'll tell you that I'm ready, but I'm not going there. We're going to stay focused on what we're here to do. And Miss Marie, I hope you had a good weekend, because today is November 2nd, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our podcast subject for today, and our podcast is number 70 for all you on the Sound Cloud and all the other podcast platforms. Number 7. Excuse me. The topic for today's podcast is going to be the importance of understanding your back office numbers. So it's you say, okay, what does that got to do with me? Well, look, when you log into the back office, well, if you stay tuned, here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to look at the numbers and understand they're telling you your weaknesses, your potential problem areas, as well as your strengths, where to focus your energy. Because believe it or not, you want to put your time into the right people, the right businesses, and you do not, believe it or not, you do not want to try to fix the broken ones, okay? And we'll talk about why we say that here in a moment. So, Miss Marie, that's a good subject today. I'm tickled pink to be able to have this subject, because we rarely, but I know no one else that would even address this issue. But it's so important to your success.
Well, it is. And of course, every network marketing company, they're going to have a little bit of a different back office setup. It's going to display differently. But ultimately, there are key pieces of information that every company is going to show you. And you need to know how to be able to interpret those numbers, how to apply them to your business, how to make adjustments, and how to continue building towards your success. So looking forward to digging into this today.
Right. I am too. You know why? Because hardly anybody talks about it, and it's so important. And I love little nuggets of information like this that other people don't know about, don't share, but they have real meaning. And that's the reason why I love doing subjects like this. And you guys will find out what we're talking about here in a moment. With that being said, I guess that's a great segue in getting started, Miss Marie. You have anything to add before we do?
I don't. Let's roll.
Okay. And before we get started, tomorrow's podcast, which will be number 7, we want to be looking for your leaders. We're going to talk today about your back office, but guess what? The back office is going to help you find your leader. So don't miss tomorrow's podcast, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, looking for your leaders, number 71. Okay. With that being said, we're going to get to number 70 here. Okay. Understanding the numbers in your back office. Okay, everybody, if you don't know what the back office means, that is saying, hey, this is where your genealogy is located. That's where you go to look at the people that you personally sponsor, to see what kind of volume is taking place, et cetera, okay? And there's a number of things that you want to go use, what you want to use the back office for. And one of the most simplest things that I could address immediately is this. If you sign somebody up, if I sign Marie up today, okay, and I want to make sure that Marie's in my downline, okay? So I will log into my back office as I'm signing her up, okay? And there are times, Miss Marie, where I've had to call the company because the back office wasn't working or their automated system online wasn't working right, and I had to call the company, and we were three-way, and then I'd sign Marie up through the company right there. Okay. And there's a number of reasons why I do that as well, because I wanted to, and I would write the person's name down. You know me, I'm always taking notes. And hey, I called so and so at so and so time on so and so date to sign Marie Cannon up, and this is who I talked to, and they helped me. I document that because if I ever have to call the company back and say, hey, I don't have Marie in my downline, what in the hell's going on? I called so and so at this time, and this is who I talked to. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I want to be able to correct that potential problem. So if you guys do have to call the company, please write everything down. Who am I talking to? Introduce yourself, okay? And try and be as nice about it as you possibly can. Because most of the time when I ask, I'd say, hey, this is Rob Cooley. I'm coming from Louisville, Kentucky. I got to sign Marie Cannon up. Do you mind helping me? No, I don't mind at all. Well, hey, can you tell me who am I working with here so that I can call you by your name? I don't want to be a stranger here. I might have to use you in the future. I would soften. And the reason I was doing that, I didn't want to say, hey, give me a name. I wanted to have a good environment, a good experience. I did not, because if I had to use that person in the future, the old saying, another one of those cliches, but it's so true. It's a life truism. Don't burn bridges. Okay. So, and you don't know if the company, especially if it's new, if it has 50 customer service reps 24/7, or if it has 5. Okay. So I want to make sure that if I'm talking to Daniel, that Daniel and I have a good relationship. Okay. And he looks forward to hearing from me. And that's the reason why I'm going to do everything I can to be as nice as I can and try to find out his name. And I'm going to write that down in case I have an issue and say, hey, I talked to Daniel so-and-so, and for whatever reason, he helped me sign Marie up, but she's not showing up. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, the whole reason I'm doing that is I'm logging in my back office because I want to see if I'm signing Marie up myself. I want to see if in fact she is going into my back office. Okay, it may not be instantaneous. In today's world, it should be, but if it's not, I can refresh the page. I can log out of the back office, log back in. And even if I'm at Marie's house, sitting at the kitchen table, I can have my laptop with me. She doesn't know what I'm doing, and I'm not hiding anything from her. And if we're using an online sign-up process, I would say, hey, won't you get your laptop, and I'll use mine to monitor to make sure everything's going right. Okay, why am I doing that if she's local? Because if she's going to sign local people up too, I want her to go through that experience. I don't want to do it for her. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is use the company, although that's duplicatable as well. And it's it's a self fulfilling process. Okay, because the person you call the company is going to guide you through that whole process. But if I'm meeting Marie in person and the company has an online sign-up process, I'm going to have her use her own laptop, and I'm going to use mine, take mine with me, use her internet if possible. Maybe I can use my device, whatever. But the bottom line is that I'm going to watch in my back office to make sure she pops up on there, okay? And the reason I want to do that, once again, is I want to make sure that everything worked the way it's supposed to. I do not want to assume that Miss Marie ended up in my downline and Miss Marie ended up underneath of me. Because sometimes Miss Marie, and I'm getting to the subject here in a minute, sometimes it will sign Marie up with a different number. And you say, well, how could that happen? Guys, new network marketing companies buy what they believe to be dependable software, okay? Because this software is designed specifically for the network marketing industry. Most new companies are going to try to save money. Sometimes they may buy, Miss Marie, a piece of software that's not really been tested, from a relatively new company. That new software doesn't always work right. For you to assume that Marie went directly to you and your ID number is attached to her is going to be silly if you were the new company. Now, I wanted to bring that up because you can see how important this potential issue could be. I'm sure you get it and understand the point I'm making, right?
Well, absolutely. If there's ever a hiccup with the technology, the earlier you catch it, the better, because then it's easier to correct. If it's one of those things where you're bringing in a new distributor, a new business partner, and they get placed somewhere in your organization or even outside your organization accidentally, and you don't realize it till a week or two down the road, if you have someone who's motivated and invested and they start building right off the bat, that creates kind of this spider web of adjustments that have to be made in the system. So rather than moving that one person that just signed up and for some reason landed in the wrong place, now all of a sudden they've got to move an organization of people, and that gets a little bit more complicated. So that's why you want to stay on top of it and make sure people are landing exactly in the place you expect them to be within your organization right off the bat.
Yes, that is a very good point. She's absolutely right. You do not want to assume, because if you do have a rock and roller and they start signing up 4 or 5 people in their first week, that could be a nightmare. Do not assume. Miss Marie, if you'll do me a favor, please log out and log back in. You're breaking up so bad that there is no way that they can understand what it is you're saying. That's the reason why I'm repeating that.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. All right, guys, with that being said, we want to make sure that the point that she made is absolutely clear. What she was saying was, because it hurt, she was breaking up really bad. What she was saying was this, is that if you sign up, if you're fortunate enough to sign up a new person and they start rocking and rolling in their first week, first couple of weeks, if you did not take the time to make sure that they are actually in your downline, you're the personal sponsor, so your ID number needs to be attached to Marie. And if she starts rocking and rolling, signing up 4 or 5 people, that can be a nightmare for the company to straighten out. Do not allow that to happen. I'm telling you, during that process, make sure that you have the ability to monitor that sign up as quickly as possible. Okay? Because the bottom line is, let me add Miss Marie. Okay. Let's see. Now it's still the same issue. Not good. Okay, well, we're going to do the best we can. Miss Marie's it's freezing up all the time and not doing much of anything. So you guys may have to listen to my voice today. Okay. With that being said, all right. So let's get to the subject. We talked about the situation here where you have to log into your back office and you're going to look at the numbers. And what are those numbers actually telling you, especially if you're just starting out? If you're starting out your own 90-day mini blast, okay? Well, the reason we just brought up that example of making sure that when you sign up a new person is actually in your downline and attached to you is because when you're going crazy building your own business in the 90-day mini blast mode, you cannot afford to backtrack to correct things that maybe didn't take place correctly. And when you go into your back office and you're looking at the growth, you may not catch some potential problems. And if you don't, then guess what? It's going to cause you to lose focus on what those numbers are telling you. The numbers in your back office are huge in your success. They paint a clear picture of what's taking place in your business. The numbers in there will identify your weaknesses, your strengths, and who is a problem area. Okay. In other words, another organization. The experienced business builders understand that when they log in their back office, they understand what these numbers are saying. This helps us to become a focused business building machine. You guys say, well, how do you guys go into a new company and build things so quickly, so successfully? Well, here's the reason. One of the reasons why is because when we log into our back office and we're going crazy and signing people up, creating all this volume, not only are we monitoring who is where and what's going on, but we're also looking at the strength areas and where to focus. We always tell you guys the second phase of the business building process is identifying and working with leaders. This is one of those things that is rarely talked about, but as professional business builders, that is one of the cornerstones of our business building process. What we understand is when we log in our back office and we see some strong people that are building a strong business and they're doing so quickly, we know that we have to stay focused on those people because our future success is based on those people right there. Also, what ends up happening is that we have a second, remember, because you always remember, you have the 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. It's always working. We know that. So the thing is that since I know that I need to look at the other people that aren't really rocking and rolling right at this moment, but they are making consistent growth progress, okay? They may not be signing up, 3 to 4 people every week or every 8 or 9 days, okay? they may be signing up 3 or 4 people in a couple of weeks. Now, I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's bad. You got to remember, a third will do it now, a third will do it later, a third will never do it. So I know, because those numbers are true and they actually work, I know that I got to focus on what? My first third. That's my leaders. They do not want to be left alone. Even though they're leaders, they don't understand the business model. They don't understand all the intricacies that go in being successful in this business. They're willing to do the work. They're used to achieving success. They're not afraid of success. And they're actually going out there and making things happen. Okay. And they may not know that they're making mistakes. So what my job is to make sure that I let them know that I am here for them, that I'm going to do what I can to be there for them, to help them stay focused, to help them become that focused business building machine they need to be, to really do something special in this business, while at the same time keeping another eye on the people that are actually, which is my second third. Okay, these are the people that are building the business, but not as aggressively as my first third, which is people I just talked about. You can tell I'm a little bit hoarse today, and I apologize for that. So the point is that I want to make sure that I'm identifying these people here. And as I've told you guys, you go back to our podcast about leaders, about identifying and working with the leaders. One of the things that you have to make sure you do is you want to make sure that when you sign your people up, you say, hey, look, do you want me to follow up with you? And they say, yeah, I'd love for you to follow up with me. Okay, I only have one time a week in the beginning. Or you could say, if you actually have time, because, you know, as a business builder, you're going to be busy. You might have time to talk to them twice a week or follow up with them twice a week. That's up to you. Typically, I'd say, hey, what I like to do is follow up with my new people to make sure everything's going good. What time frame would you like to touch base with each other? And they said, well, 7 or 8 o'clock at night would work great. Okay, what day? Okay, well, maybe a Wednesday. Okay. I either let them know, hey, I don't have 7 o'clock, but I do have 7:30. Okay, well, yeah, I can make 7:30 work. Okay, so 7:30 every Wednesday until you say stop. Yes, that would be great. What number do you want? Do you want me to call the number on now? Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. And so what I'm doing when I'm signing up new people, I'm establishing that follow-up process until they tell me to stop. The reason I do that is because I want a positive working environment with my leaders. I don't know if this new person is going to be a leader, but what I'm doing is setting up a process where I can efficiently and effectively follow up with them on a schedule that's comfortable with them, because people are already stressed out today. They don't want more stress. I don't want them to have a negative image of this process or this business or of me. So I'm going to work with them to identify in their crazy schedule what works for them. And so, as you can see, this is all being positive, okay? This is all moving in the right direction, okay? If they say, no, I don't want you to follow up with me, I'll get in touch with you, that's good. I'll accept that as well. And I'll let them know, hey, you contact me, I'll do my best to get back with you right away. I don't know if I could do that because I'm so busy, okay? And they may say, well, then maybe I need to schedule something. But the point is, if people tell me, no, I don't need a follow-up, I accept that as well. The point is, I want to identify the people that do want me to follow up with them, whether they're in the first third or the second third. Why? Because when I log into my back office, guys, and I see somebody that's possibly struggling, or someone that is on the verge of really doing something special, then I'll look at who it is, and then I'll look in their file, and I'll see when they want me to follow up with them. If it is, in fact, Wednesday, and today is Monday, for all of you that are on the podcast or watching this video later, then I'll say, okay, you know what? I don't know if I need to follow up. I don't know if I need to wait until Wednesday. This person's really on the verge of doing something special, or this person's really on the verge of something bad happening. I need to contact them today. And so what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I logged into my back office and I saw something, and I want to make sure that you're aware of it. If you're not, we need to talk before Wednesday, okay? Because I want to make sure that you're aware of what's potentially going on, and let you know what you can do to head it off. Or, hey, I see that you're really going through a lot of great growth, and I know we got an appointment scheduled for Wednesday, but I want to talk to you as soon as possible, because I think if I share with you this little tactic or this little thing here, this could really push you over the top. Okay. And I don't want to wait until Wednesday. I want you to have success as quickly as possible. So I'm always going to be uplifting in a positive in my initial contact, if that contact is outside of the normal schedule time. Once again, you may say, what does this got to do with the numbers in the back office? Because I'm working the numbers. As I look at the numbers in the back office and I see a potential problem or I see a potential positive thing for them, I look at their file, I see that where their follow-up request is, and then I know what I need to say in that text, in that email, whatever the form that I'm using to contact them with. And I'm letting them know the potential content of that call or that meeting, so that they can have a positive image that, hey, they're trying to help me out. So I need to make sure I get with them as soon as possible. And they're going to be very appreciative of that. Why is that important? Because I'm developing a bond, a professional bond, and they're going to realize that they're not going to get that kind of support anyplace else. Okay. And they're really grateful for my attentiveness, my professional approach, and my willingness to be there when they need it, even when they didn't know they needed it. Because new people rarely know that they have a potential problem. I bet you that's Miss Marie contacting me, letting me know that she's having a problem. Okay. All right. I just took the time to check that text message. All right, guys. So now you say, okay, Rob, I get it. I understand what you're getting at with the numbers. But once again, what numbers are you looking at? And that's a great question. But I had to set that foundational initial look into the back office process so that you understood the basics, okay? Because the numbers are irrelevant until you understand the follow-up or contact process of the people in your business, okay? Because you don't want to be arbitrarily contacting people because that will push them away, especially people that are used to being independent. If they're a success in their job right now, or if they own a business and they're a success, they have a lot of confidence in themselves. And they will take offense if someone's trying to, quote unquote, be their boss, or someone's trying to tell them what to do, or someone's contacting them too much because they got enough on their plate and they really don't want to waste valuable time being on a call that is irrelevant and not necessary. Okay. You do not want that to happen. That's the reason why that was important for me to lay that foundation before we talked about the numbers. Now let's talk about the numbers, because now we can really focus in on what the numbers are telling you. If you remember, the 1/3, your first 1/3 is always going to be your strongest leaders. They're typically going to take off right away. When you log in and you see a lot of growth taking place, and the growth is identified by what? Volume. If you're using the threshold of profitability, you know that what to expect. You know that the first thing you want to look at is this individual who's got a growing business, okay, that's really taken off. Are they themselves doing 100 PV per month? Guys, if they're not, they're circumventing the system. That is going to hurt their business. You cannot go back and say, oh my gosh, now if you only got 2 or 3 people in your business, you can. But if they've built their business to where in their 3rd or 4th week, they got probably 30 to 70 people in their whole group, well, guess what? What do you think is going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is this. They're going to be in a situation where they're not going to be able to go back and tell those 30 to 70 people, oh my gosh, guys, Rob taught me about this threshold of profitability thing, and we're all supposed to be doing 100 PV per month, and I forgot, and I need to tell you guys, all of you need to step up and do 100 PV. Guys, that's going to piss off a lot of people, okay? And a lot of people, especially the larger the group you have, are not going to take a step backwards. And a lot of people will say, well, you didn't tell me that in the beginning. I don't understand why I need to do that. That just seems like you're just trying to make more money off of me. You are going to face a major negative backlash on that. Okay, because they're going to tell themselves and their spouses, because their spouse is going to say, well, why are we spending more money? Well, he was supposed to tell me that. And when I joined and he didn't, and he forgot. Well, you know what? We're tight enough on money as it is. And now you're going to spend more money and you haven't even made your first check off of this. I don't know. This sounds like a scam. We already have a negative image of network marketing anyways. And we always hear about these people that are taking advantage of people financially in these things. And maybe that's what's going on here. Folks, that's a kind of negativity you're going to invite into your business if you don't use the threshold of profitability right off the bat. Okay. So the thing is, if I'm being professional and I'm monitoring, which I should, I log in my back office every day, okay, 3 or 4 times a day, and I usually space it out. Why? Because I want to make sure that there's nothing bad going on. Okay. And if I don't follow my steps, in other words, the 5 simple steps, myself as a professional business builder, then I'm not sure that I told them to use the threshold of profitability. Then I'm the one that's at fault. But if I follow those steps, I know that I told them the power of the threshold of profitability, why they need to use it, what the effects are going to be, what the end result's going to be, and how it's a critical part of the duplication process and their success. Okay. And when I fill out their file, I'm saying there, I told them about the threshold of profitability. They said they got it. They understood it. You say, why is that important? Well, because when I log into the back office with my new people and I see this individual who's really starting to do something good and they're not doing 100 PV guys themselves, we got a big problem. And I've got to get with them right away. And if we have a scheduled meeting weekly at 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday, and today's Monday, okay, at 11:30 a.m., I'm not waiting to Wednesday. They could sign up 2 or 3 other people. They could potentially sign up a superstar themselves. And guess what? That superstar is not going to use the threshold of profitability. Not only is it hurting my business, but it's hurting their business big time. Okay. So it's imperative I get with them right away. And I say, hey, we need to talk. There's something really bad going on here. And you're really doing wonderful signing people up. But you've got a business building basic flaw. And we got to talk. Okay. And I'll word it, I'll be forceful, but I'll be polite in the process, to love them and leave them. Okay. Because I'm not their boss. I'm not going to take a baseball bat and beat them over the head. Okay. It's my job to be a partner and to say, hey, we got a potential problem here. You're doing great. Because you bring up the negative, but you finish the conversation with a positive. So, I let them know, hey, we got a potential problem. And I don't tell them what the problem is. Okay. I want to talk on the phone with them. And I'll say, hey, we need to get on the phone ASAP. It'll only take a few minutes. I need to bring it to your attention. And the reason we need to talk on the phone is that if you have any questions, I want to be able to respond to those questions immediately so that we can get this fixed. Otherwise, guess what? It's going to be a real problem as you go forward. Okay. That's how I'll handle that situation. How did I know that? Because the first thing I look at my growing leaders, which is part of my 1/3, my first 1/3, and then you have your second 1/3, then you have your third 1/3. Those people in my first 1/3 are my leaders. They could potentially be superstars. And I got to make sure they get off on the right step. So the first thing I do is look at, are they doing 100 PV per month themselves? Okay. So that's the first thing you want to look at. The second thing you want to look at is, are they creating, what kind of volume are they creating? And how are they creating that? Is it on a daily basis and on a weekly basis? And is it on an 8 or 9 day basis? You say, well, why is that important? Because if they're signing up 4 or 5 people themselves in the first week, and then don't sign anybody up for another, let's say 5 days, but yet their volume continues, that means that they signed somebody up that's doing something special as well. So what does that tell me? To look in their downline to see what's going on. Okay. And then I might find another person that is in fact working with them. Let's say it's their brother or sister. Okay. And they're both together really doing something. But once again, what am I going to look for? To see if they're doing 100 PV. And lo and behold, they're not, because guess what? Daniel's not doing 100 PV in this scenario. And so his sister, Cindy's not doing 100 PV either, but she's really doing well too. So I'm like, okay, I got a double whammy here, and they need to know about it. Okay, so then I may have to get Daniel and Cindy on there, although that's really not my place. My job is to get a hold of Daniel and then let Daniel know, hey, let your sister know, because I can see that she's not doing it either. Okay, that's what you look for. That's the golden nuggets of information you don't learn from other people. That's what you learn here. Okay, so you can see the importance of identifying your people that are in your first third, your leaders that are building the business as fast as you are. You can see the importance of making sure they're doing 100 PV. Okay, guys, you got to make sure when you sign people up that they're doing the scale of ambition and the threshold of profitability. If you don't, you are shooting yourself in the foot. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to go back and fix it. If you do, if you try, you're going to have a lot of negativity come out of that business. And that is going to be bad for everybody. Okay, so that's the first thing you look for. Now, let's say that Daniel and Cindy are doing 100 PV per month. Okay, and let's say that they're doing wonderful on their own. They have consistent group volume growth in their businesses every 6 to 9 days. Okay, and they're signing up 3 to 4 people, let's say maybe every 9 or 10 days, whatever. Okay, so you look at that and you say, okay, you know what? They're doing good. They're getting their feet under them. They're not setting the world on fire, but they're really consistent. They're creating group volume. Their group volume is moving forward, and they have 1 or 2 people that are on the verge of moving up to the next pin level. So that shows you there's a relatively healthy business, a relatively healthy leg on the verge of really taking off. Okay, now I don't mean like boom, to $1 million status. What I'm saying is, when I mean taking off, they're getting their feet under them. They're solidifying their ground that they're standing on. They're grasping the basics. They're utilizing the basics. They're experiencing consistent growth. You may be a little slow right now, but you see potential where that growth could pick up, okay, because they are doing things and the volume reflects that, okay? They have more people doing 100 PV per month than they don't, okay? That is a sign of a healthy business. What do you do in that situation? You leave them alone and you get with them on what? Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Okay, why do you wait to Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. in this scenario? Because all the numbers are showing you the number of people they're signing up, the fact they may have 1 or 2 people going to the next pin level sooner rather than later. There's consistent volume growth. It may not be great, but that leg may have, let's say 979 volume, which is not a lot, but for a new business starting out, that's really good. Let's say you have 979 group volume. And then you sign in the next day and you see that it's gone from 979 to 1,030. And you say, well, that's not a lot of growth, but that's good growth, okay? That they're showing progress, okay? And let's say that you sign in the next day and it's still at 1,030. And you say, okay, well, they're not going backwards. They're staying stable. And then you sign in the next day and you say they went from 1,030 up to, let's say, 1,195. Okay, well, that's great. Okay, what are you seeing? You're seeing consistent incremental growth. It's not to the level that you want, that aggressive, fast growth. But guess what? They are signing people up. They may be only doing 1 or 2 people every 3 to 4 days, and that volume is going up. So that shows you that they are using the system and that they are making progress, okay? Now, you can address that on the regular schedule, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Say, hey, you guys are doing really good. I see that there's growth taking place. I can see that there's some small growth, volume growth here. Is everything okay? Do you need any help? Do you have any questions? Because if you're putting in the effort, if you're putting in the hours, then guess what? You should have more growth volume than what you're having. And if they say, well, no, I just haven't had the time, the personal time to put into it like I thought I was going to. Okay, then guess what? Your growth is really good. Okay, just keep doing what you're doing. If you have any problems, then let me know. Contact me. Okay, I will, Rob. Okay, do you have any questions right now? No, I'm really kind of good. I'm a little confused on this, but I think I got it figured out. Okay, the point is that I have them on the phone. I address the slow incremental growth in a positive way and offer support or guidance or insight on how they can make it better. If they say, no, I feel really good, I'm doing the best I can, I'm really not able to put as much time into it as I thought I was going to be able to when I joined this, but yeah, I'm making progress and I'm happy. What I don't want to do is force them, and I'm not tiptoeing around people. I'm an aggressive business builder. But here's the thing. People have things going on in their life, sometimes things they don't want to talk about. It's not my job to dig or pry. And what I don't want to do is add more pressure to their life, because then they're going to have a negative image of our relationship, a negative image of me, and they're going to say he is taking the horsewhip or the bat and hitting me over the head with it. He might be doing it in a gentle way, but he's still trying to force me to put in more hours, and I just can't do it right now. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, so what do? I love them and I leave them. Okay, because they determine whether they're going to be a superstar. They determine how fast they're going to grow. They determine what they want out of this business. I don't. My job is to work with those people that are working, that want to work and build aggressively. Okay, there's an old term in this business. They move, you move. And we'll talk about that in a future episode. Meaning, it's like a chess game. You can't move until your opponent moves. Okay, and it's not my job to force them to move. Okay, my job is not to play mental games with them, trying to emotionally charge them up where they will get out there and build faster. Okay, my job is to let them know, hey, I'm there for you. Hey, you're on the verge. Because if the money and the lifestyle doesn't entice them to take further action, then nothing I'm going to say is going to. Okay, you got to realize, guys, people are going to grow at different rates. Your job is to let them know that you're there. All right. So with that being said, I log in. I see that Daniel and his sister Cindy are doing well. They're both doing 100 PV per month. They're having slow incremental growth. I follow up with them on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Daniel says, no, Rob, I'm doing good. And my sister also understands. We wish we could put more time into this, but we can't. But in the next few weeks, we think we might be able to put more time into this. Okay, Daniel, that's great, man. You're doing awesome. I'm very proud of you. Well, I'm sorry, Rob, we're not growing. No. Don't be sorry. I'm tickled to have you in my business. I like what you guys are doing. I just want to make sure that I'm reaching out and offering help if you need it. I don't want you to feel like you're alone, and I don't want you to be afraid to ask questions. No, Rob, I don't. I really feel good about our relationship, and I really feel that you're sincere about helping. I really appreciate it. Okay, Daniel, good. Let's move on. Next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. again. You want me to pencil you in? Yes, Rob, please do. Well, Daniel, as I hang up on this call, please understand you can contact me anytime. Okay, I may not be able to get with you right away because I'll be with other people, but I will do my best to get back with you. And then a lot of times, Daniel, I'll text you back instead of calling. Okay, Rob, sounds good. And that's done. Okay. Now that's the way I handle everybody that's in my first 1/3. Now, all those people that are basically building the business fast, those are the people that I'm going to handle the same way, the same type of conversation. If I see a potential problem, in other words, what am I going to look at? Remember we talked about just a moment ago, I'm going to look at all 6, 7, 8 of my people that are building their businesses fast, make sure that they themselves are doing that 100 PV per month. Okay. That's the first thing I got to look at. If they're not doing that, what does that tell me? Remember that there's a real problem there, and I got to address it right away. I cannot wait for the scheduled follow-up, business follow-up, because that could cause a real problem. Okay. But if everything's doing good and they're doing 100 PV per month and they're having slow to incremental to medium to fast growth in my first 7, 8 people that are really aggressively going after this business, then I'm happy with that. Okay. Now, the second 1/3 are where the potential issues can pop up, meaning these people are teeter-tottering between, am I going to be a customer? Am I going to be a small business? Or am I going to go after the big business? They really don't know. They're kind of afraid. They're taking baby steps. Your first 1/3, at least they're putting a foot in the water. Your second 1/3 people are afraid to even put their big toe in the water. They're kind of, I got to wait. I got to learn the music to the ears message. I'm afraid to talk to people, or They got all these excuses. And then there's other people that do stick their toe in the second 1/3, that do stick their toe in, and they'll sign out 1 or 2 people in the first 2 weeks. Okay. And they're afraid to talk to people. They're working hard to master the music to the ears message. In other words, these people have limitations right now. They really don't have the confidence, okay, in themselves or in the business building system or me or in the business model. There's something there that's blocking them from really putting their foot in the water. They're just sticking their big toe in it. Well, you got to follow up on the predetermined and agreed upon follow-up schedule, okay? And you do that, by looking at the files and saying, okay, I'm supposed to follow up with Tim on so-and-so date, I'm supposed to follow up Diane on so-and-so date at so-and-so time. And so these people, you can tell, are just kind of hanging out and kind of feeling things out. And you wait until those scheduled times and say, well, Tim, hey, I noticed that you signed up a couple people, but nothing's happened since then. Is everything okay? Well, Rob, I really don't know where to get leads, and I really don't know. I'm struggling with the music to the ears message. So I'm afraid to talk to my other leads because I really don't feel comfortable with this message. And I'm practicing in it, and I really don't know where I'm going to go from here. What does that tell me? It tells me they're lacking confidence. It tells me that they're really not full in on this business model. And so what do I do in this situation? Well, I'm going to what? I'm going to let them know I'm there for them. I'll offer support. I'll do whatever I can to get their confidence level up. And I'll ask them that. Well, I can tell that you're struggling. What do you need to learn, or what do you need from me to help get your confidence up? Okay. That's what I'm going to do during the follow-up. Am I going to waste a lot of time with them? No. See, that's what the numbers tell me. You say, well, Rob, what are the numbers telling you in this second 1/3? When I see people that are signing up only 1 or 2 people a week, and they got some really slow growth, okay, and there's nobody in their business really close to pin level advancement, well, guess what? What does that tell me? Don't waste a lot of time on them, Rob, because guess what? I got to be what? I got to set the example. And what is the proper example? I've got to have speed and urgency in my business. I got to be the professional that I claim to be, and I've got to focus in on the basics, which means don't waste my valuable time on people that aren't ready. And that's what the numbers will tell me when I sit back and I look. You got to realize that your back office is always going to show you a number of things. And one of the things it's always going to show you is your first third, which is the people that are building it right now and making an effort to build it fast, even if they're making mistakes. Your second third, which are people that are going about it slowly, okay, and they're making incremental to slow progress. And then you have the third, which are just customers, or they're not doing anything at all. They just totally disappeared. That's your 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 playing out right before your eyes. And so you say, okay, the people that are customers, leave them alone. You can text them every once in a while. You can email them every once in a while and say, hey, this is Rob. I really appreciate you being in my business. I see that you're a customer, and I'm glad that you are. If there's any problems with your order or anything, please don't hesitate to contact the company. Not me. I'm not the company. I'm not customer service. I'm a business builder. Okay, I am not. Okay, and I just let them know, if you have any problems with customer service, then contact me. Maybe I can help out. But I never volunteer to spend my valuable time helping them with product issues. Okay, why? Because that is the company's job. I don't have product in my house. I don't return product. I don't handle returns. I don't do the paperwork. None of that. That is what? The company's job. That's why they have customer support. Okay, so I know what customers are, and the people that are doing nothing, I know what they are. They're nothing. Okay, and which is fine. So I know what? Not to waste my valuable time on those people. Yes, I will say thank you for being a customer. This is Rob. I'm really grateful that you're in my business, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do that. Why? Because that's good business. Okay, take care of your customers. Let them know that they're valuable to you. I do that. All right, so with that being said, my other people, which is my second third, the slow to medium growth people, what do? I follow up on the predetermined times that we both agreed upon. I ask them, hey, is there anything I can do to help you grow faster? Are there any problems? Are there any misconceptions about how the business works or the steps you need to take? I ask basic questions because it's obvious they can't grasp the basics or they're not utilizing the basics. And remember, when I'm working with my second third, the incremental to slow growth people, my job when I follow up with them on the predetermined time, guys, is not to push They're hot buttons. I'm not there to use mind games or any kind of other ploys to motivate them artificially to get out there and build a business. Okay. I have to let them fall where they may. I'm always going to support them. I'm always going to be positive. I'm always going to let them know I'm there for them. I'm always going to ask them, is there anything that you don't understand? Is there anything that is confusing you? Is there anything you're afraid of? I'm going to ask those questions because I do care about them. I do want them to be successful. Okay. But I understand some people have fears. But also, I understand that some people may be going through a divorce, that some people may be going through some health challenges, some people may be going through some time crunch challenges, and it's not my job to pry. If they're not willing to share, it's not my job to pry. Okay, I always want to leave them, love them and leave them. Okay, I want to leave them in a positive manner and let them know that I am there for them. It takes nothing for me to be positive and supportive. But the payoffs are huge. And I'm not doing it just because of business. I do it in life. Hey, I let people know if you ever need me, let me know. And people have. People say, no, I'm good. But and people have. They've gotten with me and they've said, hey, you made an offer a while back. Yeah, okay, let's go. Guys, I've had that happen. So I do it in my personal life as well as business. But I'm telling you, it pays off huge in business. I do business in other capacities. And I have people tell me, I have people saying, no, take the money. Are you sure that's all you want? I'll send you more money. I say, no, this is my price. But you're delivering so much value. It's worth more than what you're asking. I said, I know that. I said, but I want to develop a dedicated following of customers who will go no place else but with me. And if I do this, then I have a proven system that will develop those type of customers. And I have people say, man, you're absolutely right. You know what? I am definitely going to use you from here on out. Okay. I had that happen this morning. Okay. The bottom line is, guys, I'm delivering what? Value, real value. How? By being positive and supportive and uplifting. And I love them and I leave them. I'm not judging them. I don't know what's going on. And so I know that my incremental to slow growth people are in an event in their life. Okay, whether it's self-confidence, whether it's mastering the message, whether it's time availability, whatever the case may be, I realize that. And my job is not to artificially motivate them to take action when that artificial motivation is only going to last this long and not that long. Because you got to remember, this is a long game. Even though we teach you to do it over 90 days, it's a long game. Okay, this is a year to 2 year process. So I can't use artificial motivational techniques to get people to do short bursts of activity because it's not going to reap any benefits. Yeah, I might get lucky and they may sign up a superstar before they quit the business themselves, which is awesome for me and my business. But the bottom line is that I'm not going to artificially do that to them. So with that being said, when I log, let's kind of summarize what I'm talking about here, because I really want to make sure you grasp the importance of the numbers when you log into your back office. As we summarize this and bring this podcast to a close, and as you can tell, Miss Marie was not able to get back on. Her internet was really shot. So the bottom line is, guys, is that when you log into your back office, you got to use it as a tool. It will tell you a story. And as I stated in the beginning, the most important thing you got to look at right away is, in fact, what? Are they using the threshold of profitability themselves? Which means what? Are they doing 100 PV per month? The personal volume is what the PV stands for, in product themselves each and every month. If they are not, you know what? To address it, right? Sooner rather than later, meaning you do not wait until their scheduled follow-up time. Okay, because you have a meeting with them every week. Okay, you both agreed upon that meeting as we stated. And you, in this scenario, you cannot afford to wait. You have to address it now before they sign up a superstar who will get off on the wrong step, which can hurt that superstar's business, can hurt Daniel's business, and ultimately hurt Rob's business. Okay, so I need to address that threshold of profitability issue right away. Okay, and when I contact them, remember, Be nice and be positive. Hey, I see a potential problem. We need to talk. I know that you probably don't get it because you're new, and that's okay, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out. I see a potential problem. Let's talk as soon as possible, okay? And I'll let you know what we can do to fix it so that you continue, because you're doing great, and I don't want this to hurt your growth. That's how I would close that contact when I let them know that we need to talk, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to look for. Are they doing the 100 PV per month? If they are, then you're going to look in their downline and you're going to see if other people are doing the 100 PV. Okay. If they are doing 100 PV per month themselves, but their downline, none of their downline is, what does that tell you? It tells you that they understood that they needed to get on 100 PV, but somewhere there's a disconnect because they're not telling their downline. And if they are telling their downline about the 100 PV, they're not doing it right, okay? Because people will go through brick walls if they understand what the 100 PV will do for their business and how it will help them to get the lifestyle and the income they want. They'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I'll do that, okay? But if you're not telling that right, if you're not showing it right, people are not going to get it. And they're going to default to the lowest level possible, okay? And that's going to hurt your business. So once again, if you log in your back office and you see that Daniel's doing 100 PV, but nobody else in his downline is doing 100 PV, you need to get hold of him, what? Right away. If you log into your back office and you see that Daniel is not doing 100 PV and neither is his sister, Cindy, what does that tell you? That there is a big disconnect. They're not utilizing the threshold problem. You need to get a hold of them, what? ASAP. If you log into your back office and you see that Daniel is doing 100 PV and Cindy is too doing 100 PV and various people in their business is they are also doing 100 PV, what does that tell you? That they are using the threshold of profitability. They do get it. They do understand it. And duplication is taking effect, and that you can wait until Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., which is your scheduled follow-up time with Daniel. And when you follow up with Daniel, say, Dan, you're doing awesome, dude. I see that you're doing 100 PV. Your sister, who's also doing a great job building her business, is also doing 100 PV per month. And I see you having your downline, various people doing 100 PV. You guys are doing awesome. You're having a growth taking place. You got a couple of people in your downline on the verge of advancing in rank, and that is awesome. That means that business is getting off on a healthy start. Do you see how this is all broken down, how the numbers work, how the numbers tell you a story? They tell you where to focus and where not to focus. They tell you what to say and what not to say. They tell you the health of your own organization, where you need to work on your own organization, okay? Where you need to monitor, okay? It tells you there that when you have a scheduled follow-up coming, what the subject matter of that follow-up needs to be and what to address in that person's business. Man, that is powerful stuff, guys. A lot of people just log in to see the volume, the total group volume. When am I going to get paid? They don't see all of this stuff here, okay? And also what happens is as your business continues to grow and it starts to really put in a last, what ends up happening, guys, is that it shows you where you need to drive depth in your legs. For instance, I log in and I see that Daniel's doing well. I see that Cindy's doing well. And I say, okay, you know what? These guys are proven leaders. They've got their number of people in their downline are also doing 100 PV. I need to work with Daniel and Cindy to drive depth. Why is Rob doing that? Because I want to stabilize my own business. I understand that the 90% of my income is going to come from 3 to 5 legs in my whole organization. And I need to have those 3 to 5 legs as stable as possible. In order to do that, I've got to drive depth in that. Because remember, depth equals security. Once again, depth equals security. So that means I got to drive that leg as deep as possible, looking for what? Leaders. How do I drive depth? By working with Daniel and then with Cindy in finding leaders. And I tell them about depth equals security. I tell them that each leg needs 3 leaders in order to be stable. And they're going to say, oh, I get it. You mean that I won't have a residual producing machine that's on autopilot where I can sit on the beach drinking out of a coconut if I don't have stable legs? That's right, Daniel. Well, you know what? Teach me how to drive depth. Teach me how to find those leaders in depth, how to get 3 leaders in each leg so that I can have a stable business too, Rob. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to do that. What does that do for Rob's business? It stabilizes that, knowing that I have a business that I can count on producing volume and income each and every month. That is a wonderful thing, and that's how you get this incredible lifestyle. So once again, when I log into my back office and I see that Daniel and Cindy are doing great, what am I going to do as they continue to move along? Okay, because they're doing their 90-day mini blasts, and over that course of that 90 days, I see that they're doing really well. And I'm going to say, okay, I need to talk to them about depth equals security. I need to drive that leg deep. And guys, I don't wait until the 45th day. Okay, to be honest with you, sorry, as you can tell, I'm hoarse. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to wait till the 45th day. It's almost going to be too late. Half of the 90-day mini blast is over. I'm going to work with them the 3rd week if I can, because if they're aggressive and I see that there's some pin rank advancement on the verge of happening, if I see consistent volume growth, I got to say, you know what? I got to tell these guys about depth equals security now. I got to show them how to drive depth and secure this line because they got something going on. Okay, I can't wait to 90 days. I can't wait 60 days. I can't wait for 45 days. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be stretching if I wait the 3rd or 4th week of their first month. Okay, so there again, that is what the numbers in your back office are going to tell you. Okay, look at all the value that reading those numbers brings to you as a business builder. So you got to realize, guys, that looking at the numbers in a professional business builder way tells you a completely different story outside of what your next check is going to be. Okay. It tells you who to work with. It tells you what to say to them. It tells you what tactics to use to help them. It tells you where you need to help them focus in on. Okay. It tells you so much. It makes your job as a business builder so much easier. Okay. Because you know, the people that don't know these things, you know what they do? They just push harder on their downline. They just think that harder work and more hours is the answer. No, it's not. It's knowing what to do is the answer. And that's what the numbers will tell you, what to do. Okay. So guys, I hope this made sense. The last half of this, I'm really kind of sorry. I hope it wasn't confusing, but the first half of the show, I had to lay the foundation for the second half. And the second half really got detailed and really got to the heart of what the numbers in your back office mean and how they can help you and the importance of them. Okay, if you utilize them correctly. So I hope this made sense. Please go back and watch and listen to the full episode. Make sure you grasp everything we've been talking about here. There's a lot of great information in here, as always. And I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. But the great thing is that you can go back and you can, guess what, listen to it over and over. And the great thing about recorded information is that you can move the video and the audio to whatever point you want. All right. So with that being said, as always, if you will, please share, like, and comment on our various social media platforms. You guys have been doing that. I'm so grateful. I have noticed it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you will, also subscribe to our various social media platforms. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you will, please give us a thumbs up, a dancing woman, a smiling woman, a dancing bear, whatever it is. And register for our notifications. You can do that by hitting what? The little bell twice. That way, when we go live or if we upload new content, you will know about it. If you will, please share our content with our fellow network marketers all across the globe, because guess what? That helps our fellow network marketer have a legitimate chance at success, and that's a great thing. And we want to bring as much positive into this world as possible, and you can do that by sharing our content with them. If you will, also give us a thumbs up, either during the live show or afterwards. We're always grateful for when you guys give us a thumbs up. It lets us know instantaneously that we are helping you with the content we bring to the show. And that's always a good thing. We love the feedback. If you watch our content on our various social media platforms, please give us a thumbs up if possible there as well. And I noticed that you guys have been doing that too. And that's awesome. Thank you, guys. All right. Tomorrow's episode, as I said earlier, number 71, podcast number 71, looking for your leaders. What are we talking about? Because today we talked about logging in your back office and looking at the numbers and seeing or understanding the importance of the numbers and what those numbers will tell you what to do during the business building process. Tomorrow, we're going to teach you how to look for your leaders. It's going to build on the subject matter we had today, and you don't want to miss it. As you can tell, we're building them in sequence. All right, if you will, go to our website. A lot of great information coming up there. TheMLM-solution.net, TheMLM-solution.net. Also, hashtag TheMLM-solution will help you find us on our various social media platforms. Hashtag TheMLM-solution will help you find us on our various social media platforms. All right, guys, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for being patient today. Miss Marie and I, once again, it's a Monday, and if anything can go wrong on a Monday, it does. And obviously it did with Miss Marie. She was not able to be with us for the whole show, and that happens sometimes. All right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to hop off here. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to vote. It's imperative to our independence as a country and to our Constitution. And we want to make sure that we keep this country on the right track and that give everybody here a chance to be successful in the greatest country on the earth. That being said, voting is a must in this country. All right, you guys have a great day. Take care. God bless. Thank you so much for being with us. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.